All right, so homework for lesson 3.3. The only day, it's day one, fluently adding and subtracting decimals. So we need to estimate and write our estimation in the blue space and then solve. So I know 12 and 332 thousandths is pretty close to 12, and 8 and 675 thousandths is relatively close to 9. So I know my answer is going to be somewhere close to 12 plus 9, which is 18. I'm going to get in the habit of highlighting my sign because you just never know. I would hate to accidentally add when I should have subtracted and then miss a question even though I know how to do it. So since I'm adding, I know that I have the potential for regrouping when the numbers go greater than, or like when the partial sums are greater than 10. So we'll start over in the smallest place value, which is here in the thousandths. So 2 thousandths plus 5 thousandths is 7 thousandths. Moving to the hundredths, 3 hundredths plus 7 hundredths is 10 hundredths, which is equivalent to 1/10. So I'm going to record the 0 here and then carry my 1 up there so I can put it into the tenths place. Now I have 1/10 plus 3 tenths plus 6 tenths, which is 10 tenths. And if you're thinking like fractions, we know 10 tenths is equal to 1 whole. I'm not going to forget my decimal point. 8 plus 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11, and 11 ones is 1 1 and 1 10, and I'm left with 20 and 7 thousandths. Question number 2. I'm going to do another estimation. 62 and 692 thousandths is close to 63, and 18 and 46 hundredths is close to 18 and a half. So I know that this is going to be about, let's see, 63 plus 18 is 73 plus 8 is 81. So this is close to 81.5. Again, it's addition. I'm not going to screw that up. So I know 46 hundredths is equal to 460 thousandths. So I'm just going to put that 0 there because it makes it easier for me to do 2 plus 0 in the thousandths place. 9 hundredths plus 6 hundredths is 15 hundredths, or 1/10 and 5 hundredths. 6 plus 4 is 10 hundredths, plus 1 is 11 hundredths. 11 hundredths being 10ths, 11 tenths, 1.1. Carry my decimal, bring that decimal point down. 8 plus 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11, and 1 plus 6 plus 1 is 8. So I knew that my answer was going to be somewhere close to 81 and 5 tenths, and my answer was 81 and 152 thousandths. So that feels pretty good. Question 3 is subtraction. So I know 4 and 572 thousandths is pretty close to 4 and a half. 3 and 438 thousandths is close to 3 and a half. 4 and a half minus 3 and a half is 1. So I should be getting an answer close to 1. Now my favorite strategy for subtraction is to do all of my regrouping and then do all of my calculations. So when I do that, I know that I need to look up top because this is what I have. Underneath is what I'm taking away. So I'm looking for places where my value in the top number is less than the value in the bottom number. So first off, in the thousandths place, I only have 2 and I need to subtract 8. So I'm going to do my regrouping. That leaves me with 6 hundredths and then 12 thousandths. Now I have a 6 and a 3. That should be fine. A 4 and a 5. That should be fine. Great. I've done my regrouping. Now I can just subtract. 12 minus 8 is 4. 6 minus 3 is 3. 5 tenths minus 4 tenths is 1/10. And then 4 ones minus 3 ones is 1 1. So my answer is 1 and 34 hundredths. So looking at my estimation, that seems to be reasonable. Question 4 is again subtraction, and I have about 10 minus 1. So it's going to be 9 and probably a little bit less because I'm subtracting more than 1, but I just didn't want to do that extra math. So I am going to continue with my regrouping and then subtracting. My thousandths place is fine. My hundredths place is not fine. I only have 3, but I need to subtract 4. So I'm going to regroup from the tenths place, but I don't have any there. So I'm going to look at the ones place. Don't have any there. So I'm going to regroup from the tens place. So I'm going to be left with 0 tens, which is equivalent to 10 ones. I'm going to take one of those ones, which leaves me with 9, turn them into 10 tenths. I know if I take one of those tenths, it will be 10, because 1/10 equals 10 hundredths, plus the 3 that I already have is 13 hundredths. Okay, now I've done my regrouping, I can do my subtracting. 5 minus 5 is 0, 13 minus 4 is 9, 9 minus 2 is 7, get that decimal down there, and then 9 minus 1 is 8. So my answer is 8 and 79 hundredths, and that is pretty close to 9, but a little bit less. Question number 5. It says to write in vertical form and then estimate, and there's a wee bit of a typo, but you're not going to see that. Oh, no, there's no typo. I don't know what you're talking about. So when I am writing these in vertical form, I'm going to use my decimal point as my anchor, so that way I don't screw it up. And you know what? In fact, I'm going to use a sticky that has grids on it. That doesn't look like a sticky with grids, does it? Let's see if I make it a little bit bigger. There we go. That looks better. So I'm going to do my 54 with my decimal point right there, and 254 thousandths plus 12, making sure my decimal point is good, and 367 thousandths. This is addition, so my estimation, I know I have about 54 plus 12, which is equal to 66, and it will be a little bit bigger. So now I can do my adding. 4 plus 7 hundredths is 11 hundredths, or those are thousandths, apologies. 4 plus 7 is 11. 1 plus 5 plus 6 is 12. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. 4 plus 2 is 6. And 5 plus 1 is 6. So my answer is 66 and 621 thousandths, which, if I look at my estimation, looks pretty good. Now I'm going to get to question number 6. I'll add another grid because I can do what I want. And why would I not? And here we go. So I'm going to set this up, and this is 67 decimal point and 89 hundredths, and we are subtracting. So we are subtracting 23 and 498 thousandths. So because this is subtraction, I know I have about 68, and I'm subtracting like 23, almost 24. So 68 minus 23 is, let's see, 45. So my answer should be about 45. Now that I'm starting to do my calculations, I'm noticing I have a blank square here. So I know that 9 hundredths is equivalent to 90 thousandths. So I'm going to put that 0 there. And we are subtracting, so I'm going to do my regrouping, and then I'm going to do my subtracting. So if I have 0 thousandths and I'm trying to take away 8 of them, I am going to need to regroup. 1 hundredth is equivalent to 10 thousandths. Now I only have 8 hundredths, and I need to subtract 9 of them, so I'm going to regroup from my tenths. So we have 7 tenths, and that converts to 18 hundredths. And it looks like everything else is good. So 10 thousandths minus 8 thousandths is 2 thousandths. 18 hundredths minus 9 hundredths is 9 hundredths. 7 tenths minus 4 tenths is 3 tenths. 7 minus 3 is 4. And 6 minus 2 is 4. My estimation was 45. My actual calculation is 44 and 392 thousandths. Seems pretty good to me. So I am going to check this. So let me grab my note. If I drag, I can put it at the bottom so I can get to my answer key. And if I look at number 1, I have 22 and 7 thousandths. That looks good. I'm going to put a star next to it because I do what I want. Number 2, I have 81 and 152 thousandths. Also looks good. Number 3, my answer is very different. It would appear that the answer key, whoever created this, Mr. Plaska, he did 4 plus 3 and he got 8. So this is actually addition down below. So because I did my estimation up here, and because I did my regrouping and my subtracting so carefully, I think I'm actually correct and that the answer key is wrong. They added instead of subtracted. So question number 4, we know it's subtraction, and it looks like we got the same answer. Awesome. 8 79/100 or 8 790,000. Question 5 and 6. 64. Uh-oh. Is the answer key wrong again? Looks like maybe it is. Looks like even the answer key is really wrong. What in the world happened? Oh, if you look here, this is 56 and 254 thousandths, and I only did 54. So my answer here, this should have been 56 hundredths, which would have made this 68 and 621 thousandths, which is still different than the answer key. So answer key is wrong again. Oh my goodness. But I know that this answer, if I had actually done my estimations based on the actual problem, would have been 68 and 68 and 621 thousandths would be correct. Answer key is wrong again. I'm sorry if you can hear the dog in the background. All right, now getting to question number 6. The answer is 44 and 329 thousandths, and that is what the answer key says as well. So that one is right. 2 mistakes on the answer key. Shame, Mr. Plaska, shame.